Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Spartan football for Week 9, heading into Penn State. We now bring in longtime Spartan Nation contributor, the one, the only, the iconic one himself, the terrific Coach Chuck Grenier, legendary State of Michigan college football, State of Michigan high school football and basketball coach. Coach, before we get started, we wrote an article Sunday over the weekend at SpartanNation.com. The numbers don't lie. Inside the anemic offense. Did you read it?
I have not read that article yet. I'm looking forward to reading it. No, I have not read it, but I know that the numbers are terrible.
Okay. I want to go one step farther, Coach. I want to give you some numbers that aren't even in the article that we just didn't have room for. As of Week 9, which is Spartans had the week off, so they moved up in the rankings. They're 12th in the Big Ten in scoring offense. 12th. They are 12th in rushing offense. They are 11th in total offense. And I'm going to give you the most overrated stat in football. They are 5th in passing offense. And the reason that is so overrated, and I want everyone to understand, is for this. Because teams, when they get behind, have to throw more. And anyone who's ever been around college football knows 99% of the time, the teams that are not good are the leading passing teams. Your thoughts, not on the article since you didn't read it, but your thoughts just on the stats I just gave you on the good, the bad, and the ugly with Spartan football.
Well, not only if you get behind, you have to train there. You can't run. You have to throw more. So I think a lot of the problems that Michigan State had this year offensively is no identity. Do you pass to run the ball? Do you run to pass the ball? I don't know what their identity is offensively. They just seem to struggle in both sides of it. The number of reasons that they are passing more is and not being successful is drop balls, pull routes. The thing that grinds me every year, 3rd and 8, and you run a 5-yard pattern, or something. You throw the ball to somebody at 5 yards and you don't pick it up. It's just a multitude of things that just don't seem to bode well for Michigan State's offense.
Coach, I'm curious about something. I did not watch the game on TV. I'm obviously there. But I'm told that there was a place, and I guess it was on Big Ten Network, where the Big Ten sideline reporter mentioned that Don Treadwell was asking his receivers, what are you seeing out there? And they couldn't tell him. Did you happen to see that?
Yes, I did see that.
All right, that stunned me, and I'm going to tell you this. I heard about it from an NFL scout the first time who texted me and put WTF, don't need to tell you what that means. And he told me that, and I had trouble believing it. I didn't think the scout was a liar. I thought maybe the sideline reporter. But then I heard about it again from someone else. That's why I'm asking you about it. What are your thoughts?
Blind leading blind. Maybe that's the interpretation of that one. If you're asking your receivers, what are you seeing out there? I'm not quite sure exactly what he is asking. From up above in the coach's booth, they should be telling you what kind of pass coverages that the team that they're playing is running. Are they showing you a man or dropping into a zone, or they're comboing or whatever they're doing on it? But it leaves the impression to me, and it leaves the impression that they are not being well coached and well prepared into what is supposed to be going on at that time, as far as game plan for the game. That's my conclusion on that.
Coach, I just have to ask, because I think it's legitimate. I talked to 3 recruits over the weekend, and you've been around me a long time. You know I'm constantly talking to recruits. who all told me they're all being recruited by other Big Ten schools, and they're all being told you don't want to go to Michigan State. Mark D'Antonio's not going to be there, yada, yada, yada. You know that Spartan Nation was the first to report the feeling inside the administration was Mark D'Antonio was not coming back. We reported it right after last year was over. Here's my question to you. Does Mark D'Antonio owe it to the administration, his players, the fans, and to recruits to come out now and emphatically state, yes, I'm coming back, or no, I'm not? Or does he owe nothing? I don't think he should be fired. I'm not saying that. I'm not even implying that. But I'm saying, does he owe a statement on his future?
Well, I think so. I think it is so important at this time with the state of the program, especially the offensive side of the ball. And I know for years it's been coached against or recruited against Michigan State about why would you like to go to Michigan State? The offense there is terrible. Defense is great. The offense is terrible. I think it's really vitally important to the program right now that he comes out and makes a statement, positive or negative, one way or the other. Not one of those that from that movie about Watergate, a non-denial denial. We don't need that. We have to come out. He's got to come out at this time, state emphatically he's either staying or let the public know and the recruits know that he's going. And to, in my opinion, to mention the name or have somebody in mind and name a coach for the future. Because I think at this program is so anemic at this time and so easily recruited against that a name has got to be out there and allow people to know that a new coach is coming. This is who's going to be coming, and it's got to be somebody with fire. You know, it really going to bolster the program because at this point, I think they're at a real critical point, and it's not good right now. It's just like they're on a treadmill going nowhere at this point. So I think it's really important to make some kind of statement, to have somebody in the wings ready to take over and move this program forward to where it should be again.
When I asked him about that at Big Ten Media Days, he said he was coaching in the moment. That, to me, was not an emphatic statement of anything.
No, that's your non-denial denial.
Coach, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's just, it's I think it's a conclusion. You could see that with the defections that are going on right now, moving on, and how many more would there be at that point? That the program is it's spooning right now. It's in a downfall.
I'm going to tell you this. I know of 4 other players right now that are seriously considered jumping in the portal. Seriously considering jumping in the portal. I'm not going to get into the reasons why they haven't yet, but seriously are considering in the portal. Coach, 6 players have jumped in the portal already. None of them were playing. Some of them not significant losses. Some of them, even inside the building, people were shaking their head wondering why they weren't playing. When you look at them, Weston Bridges, running back, moved to wide receiver. Connor Hayward, Ladarius Jefferson, Noah Davis, Brandon Boyer. I'm trying to remember who the other one is.
Noah Davis, Chambers.
Yeah, and Chambers. So 5 offensive players, 1 defensive player. Some of them I do not think are a significant loss. Some of them I think are very significant, and I think there were good people inside the building shocked they weren't playing more. Is this much ado about nothing, or hey, if you want to jump off a ship when things are tough, go?
Well, if you're not playing, there's always going to be that grumbling. I'm not playing, or what's wrong? I could maybe go somewhere else. Or if you are playing and it doesn't look good and you're losing, your coach looks like he's probably going to be leaving at the end of this year. And the new NCAA rule also, I aid in this too. The rule where if you play 4 games or less, you can redshirt. I think that has an impact on what's happening right now. I think that the new transfer portal means that you don't have to transfer, but you're thinking of it, and people, you could be contacted. Those kind of things are going on. I think it's kind of a sign of the times right now, more than the Titanic and the wrecks deserting the ship. But yeah, it's significant that so many of them are going on right now. It really, it isn't hurting the starting playing group that much as it's really hurting the depth. And there are some players I thought, Darius Jefferson, I thought was a real loss, and I thought maybe he does not look like a running back to me, a tailback time. He's more of a power type guy, but I thought he would take the walk across the line and become a linebacker. I think he would be an outstanding linebacker, great athlete, great body type for being a linebacker. So I think it's a sign of the time. The new rules are added to it, and just the problems. But also, to me, it sounds as if there's problems in the locker room. I think there'd be locker room problems on that, with maybe some pettiness, some spite, some spying going on against each other about the offense not producing and the defense maybe being upset about it. I don't know that for sure, but it sure sounds like something like that could be happening.
Coach, last question from me to you. I think it's the last one. If they lose at Penn State, they've got 4 games left. Looks like they should beat Maryland, Rutgers, and Illinois, although Illinois is coming off their last 2 weeks. They've played very well.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted before the year they would beat Michigan. I don't think they will right now. I'm curious. If they lose to Penn State, that means there's no chance of getting to 9 regular season wins. Will the wheels on the bus come off?
I think the wheels are pretty wobbly right now, to tell you the truth. The way that they're playing, the uninspired offensive schemes, I think the wheels are real wobbly as it is. They just don't seem to be able to produce offensively. I think that breaking down the mentality of the defense, realizing that the defense has to play so well in order for them to have a chance to win. And I think the wheels are really wobbly right now. The status of coach in the near future, people defecting, depth being lost with going into the transfer portal. I think the wheels are real wobbly.
He is the great Coach Chuck Grenier, the legend, the way of life. This man is so legendary that his wife gets up every morning and starts her day by saying, "Thank you for being married to me, oh great one." He joins us each and every week for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Every week for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Every week